on site to capture the event, including speeches from some of the biggest names in conservative circles. Speakers included Erica Kirk, Donald Trump Jr., and Vice President J.D. Vance, who was endorsed by Erica Kirk for the 2028 presidential election. NTD's Tiffany Meyer was in Arizona with highlights from the event's final day.
The enthusiasm here has been palpable across all 4 days, with attendees passionate about carrying forth Charlie Kirk's legacy. And to end on a high note, even a surprise special guest took the stage. Here's that moment, plus some other highlights.
Hello, how are you? So those of you who know, Charlie was very good about having a surprise for every AmFest. And we are so blessed to have you. We are so grateful. I mean...
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I am honored to be here. Thank you for having me. I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win, and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact.
He says, make America great again, because every American is invited. So if you love America, if you want all of us to be richer, stronger, safer, and prouder, you have a home on this team. I didn't bring a list of conservatives to denounce or to deplatform. And I don't really care if some people out there, I'm sure we'll have the fake news media, denounce me after this speech. But let me just say, the best way to honor Charlie is that none of us here should be doing something after Charlie's death that he himself refused to do in life. He invited all of us here. Charlie invited all of us here for a reason, because he believed that each of us, all of us, had something worth saying, and he trusted all of you to make your own judgment.
This was the first major conference for Turning Point USA since the assassination of its founder, Charlie Kirk. But if the enthusiasm and numbers here are any indicator, this movement isn't going anywhere. As the speeches on stage have said, it's only growing. And with Erica Kirk continuing Charlie's mission, AmFest 2025 drew in large numbers of female attendees, many of those young women crediting Erica with drawing them in. And in the spirit of Charlie, several debate stations popped up inside and outside the venue. For as Charlie famously said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens. In Phoenix, Arizona, for NTD News, I'm Tiffany Meyer.
Rapper Nicki Minaj joined Turning Point USA CEO Erica Kirk on stage at America Fest and openly supported President Trump and Vice President Vance. Joining us now for comments is Angie Wong, Republican strategist and political columnist, and we have Democratic strategist Theron Bond. So Theron, Angie, good afternoon to you both. Thank you for being here with us today. So Theron, if I may, I'll start with you. What was going through your mind when you saw the prominent celebrity entertainer, rapper Nicki Minaj come on stage saying she loves President Trump and has the utmost respect for him?
Well, I think two things can be true. One, all Black people are not a monolith, which means there are variant beliefs across Black people of a myriad of spectrums. You know, some more influential celebrities have a particular belief. Some of the everyday Black folks have a different belief. But ultimately, to use her influence in her celebrity in this particular way for her to finally get herself entrenched in politics, it reminds me of when Cardi B, one of her rap foes, got involved in politics and was campaigning for Bernie Sanders. So to see her use this in this way, what immediately comes to mind is that she's capping for her husband and her brother, both of whom are convicted felons, just like President Trump. And I would dare say she's probably trying to get pardons for them.
Okay, Angie, can I get your view on this?
Yeah, I love seeing Nicki Minaj on stage there, and when you listen to what she had to say, it felt like a coming out moment for her. And I can understand that from previously being in the entertainment industry, where you have to be almost a Democrat absolutist to stay working in that industry. So for her to come out and say, "Well, I had my own thoughts about this, and I had to break away." I mean, you saw the entire arena listening to every single word, because I think a lot of young voters, especially those who are going to things like America Fest, they all were kind of conditioned to be slightly Democratic when they're coming out of colleges and whatnot. And then all of a sudden to say, hey, well, there's others like me and I can have my own mind and I can have my own thoughts. I thought that was perfect. The other takeaway from Nicki Minaj is that this really does represent, I think, what we're getting a preview of is a strategy that Republicans will be taking for the midterms as well as 2028, which is to pull in the Black female vote. That is the one base that we have yet to conquer. And I think that Nicki Minaj is the perfect representation for that.
Well, let me say, as a Black woman, I don't believe the same things as Nicki Minaj, and I certainly don't support Trump or the ideals of him or his administration. And what this is an indication of is the repeated pattern of Republicans pandering to Black people. But as a Black woman, I'm here to tell you we are more than just sneakers. We are more than just stimulus checks. And we are certainly more than just rappers who are using their platform to help their own personal lives and agendas.
Well, Theron, let me ask you, regardless of the motive here, I think you would agree that her appearance would definitely have an impact, whatever that impact may be. Maybe you can speak to this.
I would definitely say that her use of this platform has people talking. It created a conversation. It created a stir, a controversy of sorts, which both parties, Republican and Democrat, are associated with for various reasons. But what this also does was further isolate her fan base. All those bees in the trap, all those barbs, a lot of them are going to be no longer barbs now because she has used her platform to come out in support of what is now a very conservative party. But when we look at the infighting amongst GOP, I wonder where Nicki Minaj falls in between those gaps. But this will be continued conversation for days, likely months, probably all the way leading up to midterms. And it will be interesting to see which other power players the Republican Party touts in an effort to further win back seats come next year. But this is no indication of what the Democrats will pull out, but certainly what Republicans doing are what they do best, and that's create controversy and a stir.
Okay, Angie, your response, please.
Yeah, I mean, all those good things. Look, everyone's got players on both sides, right, batting for them. Look, this was an arena filled with young voters, conservatives. A lot of them were first-time political people. They were never involved to begin with. So to have that kind of concert excitement at AmFest, I thought it was great. Look, you had an arena filled with grassroots activists and campaigners. And then they made it just like a rock show. It was great. I think this is definitely the kickoff to 2028. We haven't even gone through the midterms yet. We've still got a long road to go through, but any other candidates looking to jump in clearly saw that Erica Kirk threw it in for J.D. Vance. And that certainly clears a pathway for him. Is it a coordination? No, not yet. But it certainly already gives him the coalition of young voters that no other candidate looking at 2028 has. So, beware.
So, Theron, we were carrying the America Fest event yesterday, and I was paying attention to it. There was one statement from a speaker yesterday that the Democratic Party is not your grandfather's party anymore. Maybe you can just speak to that. What is the political climate today compared to maybe 10, 15 years ago? How has the Democratic Party changed from the past compared to now?
It's similar to a quote that is used by so many millennials now on both sides of what they believe, which is we are not our ancestors, which means we are not our relatives or ancestors of yesterday. While all of us have a fight within us, we fight differently now. While in the past, some of us have had to be more demure, more light spoken, more treading lightly. Now we are more bold, more vocal, and we are talking about our beliefs. We're talking about them in school. We're talking about them at work. We're talking about them at the grocery store. And now more and more people are realizing that politics is at everyone's front doorstep, whether they are directly impacted by today's issue or it's their neighbor. And if it's not their issue today, it will certainly be their issue tomorrow. I will say in the past, Democrats in some years have had great cohesion, but now our party is still in disarray. The one thing that the Republican Party does well is they handle all their badness behind closed doors. And for the most part, they present a united front. While now we are seeing some public infighting due to different policies dealing with healthcare and other things within the legislature. Now it's a little bit different, but Democrats are unfortunately still behind. If we can get behind a unified message, if we can lean more left, seeing as the Republican Party has leaned more right, we might get somewhere. We might gain some more seats back in 2026, and we might have a real shot at flipping the White House and getting that back too in 2028. But it is a long road ahead. We are running out of time as the days go by, and we have got to get to work.
Okay, Angie, your response, but I also want to ask you, I'm wondering here, is there a cultural shift? Because I've noticed previously it's common to see less prominent celebrities supporting or associating themselves with President Trump. But, you know, Nicki Minaj is arguably considered by many one of the top female rappers in the world. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, she's made conservatism fashionable again. So this is great. We're going to see more and more of this. You're already starting to see various Hollywood stars come out for President Trump. They are not afraid because, you know, they don't have, they've already protected their legacy. They don't have anything to hide, but you're starting to see a lot of people come through. I mean, President Trump just honored several celebrities at the Kennedy Center by giving them Lifetime Achievement Awards. So I think that tide has changed. It's no longer toxic to be with Orange Man bad. I think all that stuff has completely died away because of President Trump's performance. He's only been in office a little bit more than 11 months. Look at what he's done for our country as well as overseas geopolitically. I mean, he's completely flipped the apparatus upside down in favor of Americans who would not support this. And we're going to see more of it in Q1 and Q2 of next year when we start seeing the tides turn on our economy. We're going to start seeing the benefits of the big, beautiful bill, the tariffs, all that stuff. I really do hope that all of this translates to November 2026 during the midterms, because we do need to give him a full 4-year presidency, uninterrupted, not by any sort of Democrat control.
Okay, Theron,
hey, Don, I think the reality is what we're seeing with President Trump and the Republican Party is they're continuing to pander to the Black community. They're bringing up Black celebrities. They're trying to talk about Black issues. The problem is we don't see that translate into Black policy agenda for the American people, for Black Americans. So it's great to have a Black celebrity. It's great to play Black music. It's great to have conversations with Black folks. But until that policy reflects an agenda that caters to Black Americans, it's all a moot point.
Okay, Theron, I wanted to ask you this. I got your response to Angie, but I have a clip here for you when Nicki Minaj is asked about why she's speaking up about politics. If you could just take a quick listen to this.
What was the turning point? Well, I just got tired of being pushed around. Yeah. Sometimes you just get tired of it, and then you realize, wait a minute, I have something inside of me that's stronger than what's out there.
Darren, what do you think Nicki Minaj is talking about when she says she's tired of being pushed around?
I think this is where she has a lot of similarities to President Trump. They both feel like they've been bullied, yet they are both internet bullies and talk a lot of trash and throw a lot of mud on the internet and in public. And so for that, they can both identify with each other. But don't dish it out if you can't take it. And if it's too hot in the kitchen, then go somewhere else or maybe treat people better. And there are so many examples of that for both Nicki Minaj and President Donald Trump, where they have spoken about people poorly or mistreated people. And so once again, they can relate on that. But all of this is a show. Nicki Minaj is in the entertainment business and she is entertaining the people. In this case, it's those who came to patronize America Fest. But I guarantee you in the coming, I wouldn't even say maybe days, maybe weeks or months, but certainly within less than a year, if I see either her husband or her brother get a pardon, I would not be surprised. And that is what this is all about. And we can circle back to this footage when that day comes. But that's what this is about for Nicki Minaj. She is doing for her family what she thinks will get what they personally need.
Okay, Angie, I want your reaction as well to this clip. From the people that I've talked to who saw this clip, some of them are saying they're talking about how the culture of the last 10 years with some conservatives often reporting they feel stigmatized because of their beliefs, leading to self-censorship. What are your comments on what Nicki Minaj said about being pushed around?
Yeah, I mean, from having worked decades in the entertainment industry, it's a very singular-minded thing. And if you do speak out, that's why a lot of agents will tell, and managers will tell their clients, don't get into politics because there's just no winning formula there. And the stars that do get involved, they're pretty much protected either through the studio or because they just don't care. I mean, Nicki Minaj took a big leap of faith to go up on stage at TPUSA, something that, just a couple of years ago, I don't know if there would have been someone who would put their careers on their line to go and speak up about their faith, their freedom, their belief of free markets, all those things that TPUSA represents. So I really do congratulate her. I can tell she was nervous. I don't know enough about her personal life and her brothers and her husband and all this to make a comment on whether or not they're going to get pardons. I don't even know what their situations are. But I will tell you, I don't believe that this is just self-serving. I do think that she put her entire career, her previous record sales on the line to be on stage with Erica Kirk.
Yeah, so
let me take the time to educate the other panelists and viewers. So her brother was convicted of child rape and her husband was convicted of a similar sexually related charge. Both are convicted felons.
Okay, so this leads to my next question to you, Theron. Angie is saying that Nicki Minaj is putting a lot on the line here. So I would imagine she's definitely weighing the pros and cons of this, the benefits versus the disadvantages, the shortcomings of this. So what do you think she was weighing? And in the end, why do you think she made this decision, which I would imagine she thought was the better choice?
At one point, Nicki Minaj had a thriving career. She is still very much influential, but that influence has declined significantly. The only thing that was on Nicki Minaj's mind at this point was getting a pardon for her brother and her husband. I can't imagine how much she has gone through dealing with the background of her husband throughout her career since they dated and once they got married. It's been a lot. It takes a simple Google search to understand the background of her personally and those folks who are related to her. I guarantee you that was the single focus in doing this, was if she comes out publicly for President Trump, she too can get some relief for her brother and her husband. Nothing more, nothing less. But again, she's very very vocal as President Donald Trump is in person and online. So she didn't have any fear, or she wasn't nervous, or didn't have any reservations about being vocal. You can even hear that in her rap lyrics. She says exactly what she means. She does exactly what she wants, and she doesn't care what other people think. So I don't think she cared what people think. She had an issue, she had an agenda, and she did what she needed to do to accomplish that.
Well, I guess time will find out. I'll give Angie the final thought here because I did start with Darren. So Angie, if you have any closing remarks.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with Theron that everyone who goes up on stage, on any political stage, has their own personal agenda to be up there. It could very well be not personal, but that she also wants to be a rising star in a movement that clearly half the country voted for in November 2024, which is for Donald Trump. I mean, those could be her personal beliefs, or that could just be the wave of where the trends are going. And it looks as though more and more people are removing themselves from the Democratic Party. We saw the numbers just yesterday, 18% favorability. Well, who wants to be part of a party that's going downhill? I mean, we saw the Miami mayoral elections just a few weeks ago. A lot of people aren't ready to make the full jump, especially Democrats, to the full jump going to Republican, but they're certainly now re-registering as independents. So I think that's just the trends that we're seeing. It's not a personal thing with Nicki Minaj. I think maybe she's doing the smart thing by not being part of the Democrat Party, by not going downhill with the rest of the numbers. They don't want that. So I think this is a really smart move for any celebrity who still wants to have longevity in this game.
Well, all right. We're out of time for today, but really appreciate both of your comments today. Thank you so much, Theron and Angie.
Happy holidays.
The Trump administration says the U.S. will see the biggest refund cycle ever in the history of America.